brother. How are you doing today, De'Allen?
Going on, Marlo? How you doing, sister?
Oh, I'm doing good, blessed, super excited to have you on the show today and
Um,
to learn more about your story, the different things that you're encountering in your business and how you're holding everything together. I mean, honestly, you and I know right now times are tough for everybody across the board
yes,
with the
yes,
economy. So it's such a blessing to even be here and be able to say that, we're still sustaining. So, we're just really interested in learning more about, like I said, your story and how you're managing it all. So just to kind of get things rolling, tell us a little bit more about STK Landscaping and Contracting. Like what's your why in your business?
Okay, so how y'all doing? My name is De'Allen Wilson. I'm blessed and thankful for even being here. I appreciate you inviting me on. Um, so STK Landscaping and Contractor started off as something I was doing with the young men in my church. Before STK Landscaping and Contractor, we actually were doing a weekly gathering with the young men and the young ladies, just showing them um, different things that they should be learning how to do as young men and as young ladies. The young men were outside. We were showing them how to do using the drill, screwdrivers. The younger ones were screwing in screws, pulling screws out. The big ones were actually building. We were building privacy fence doors and putting. We were doing a lot of just different work.
Yes, putting your hands to the plow.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Helping them with changing tires, showing them different parts of the car, just showing them things that they, as you growing up as a man, you should know a little bit about. So that's what we were doing. But as we were doing things, as the weeks were going on, I was like, man, what else we gonna do next? What we gonna do next? What we gonna do next? So I was like, okay, let's show you how to do landscaping. So we all got together and showed them how to do a little bit of landscaping outside. And it was getting to the end of the season. I said, you know what, next season we're gonna show y'all how to really do it and actually, help y'all. This is a way y'all can actually make some dollars throughout the summer. So I got with a brother that was already doing it. We worked out how he wanted it done. So uh, I started working with him just to see how he did his. Then I started bringing them young men in with me, and yeah, that's how I pretty much started. Just a week, every weekend type of gathering to actual bring them in, and actually teach them how to actually make real money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, that's really important in any business. A lot of times business owners get caught up in what's in it for them, when really the whole idea is what's in it for you as well as others around you. How can you
Right.
help to uplift not only yourself but the community around you? So, you
Exactly.
know, big kudos to you. I always say, whatever you put out, you get back. So, if you're paying it forward and your whole mission is to build a essentially a platform for these young men to be mentored, a platform for them to really start to develop those entrepreneurial skills and that self-sufficiency, which hey, we can all use a little bit of
Right.
right
Right.
about
For real.
now.
For real.
Yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
and that, oh, go
And
ahead.
just teaching them that they need to do the same thing. They have to be able to give back. They got to be able to mentor somebody else. They got to bring it up as well. In that, so as we started the business, before I started doing landscape, I was driving trucks. That was my profession. So I was driving trucks at night and then getting up and taking them to teach them about this landscaping thing. And if you deal with any of the new generation of young people, they're not like us. I mean, no pun intended, but they are literally they don't have the same care and concern of I want to be the best at this, so I'm gonna do the best I can possibly do. They more like, well, this is what we're doing. All right, let's do it. So without that care of pushing forward, it it started taking a longer time for me to either I was gonna be doing this thing with the young men or I was gonna stay at work. So I had to choose if I was gonna follow faith, follow the Most High on
Yeah.
actually. We can't expect to change if we're not going to be the change. All of us we need to make money. We need to go to work. So that's what we choose to do. We don't choose to deal with the harder things, which is not having a lot of money to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
uh, I made the choice, and my wife stood behind me with it. So I made the choice to leave my job and just pursue the landscaping with the young men. So
Yes, definitely, definitely. Well, again, big kudos to you. That's great. And that is why you are being able to sustain in such times because it's helping to build the community around you, which is so important and so key.
Um,
So thank you so much again for sharing that
Problem.
story for us. You
Uh,
know, that's so heartfelt. You know, even with myself, part of my why has come about based upon different adversities or struggles or barriers that I had to face in my own life, you
uh,
know, and me thinking like,
uh,
how can I leverage my talent to help other people to evolve a little bit faster or to avoid some of the mistakes I made. So thinking about that and thinking about the obstacles that you may face in your business currently, how are you working together with your team and with the young men to kind of overcome those things?
so starting a business without any funding and no it's with no funding, man. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So all praise to the Father that he put certain people in my life to give me certain things. Throw a lawnmower here, throw a blower here, throw a whip here. You know, they people were giving us things as we were also buying things. So um, that was another thing my wife had to go through. You know, me not paying no bills at the moment. Like, hold on, we can't pay that yet. I
Right.
gotta buy a piece of equipment.
Right.
Hold on, we can't pay that yet. We gotta get some more. You know, what I'm saying it's like we had to like halt on a lot of the different things we used to doing, paying bills, buying things, you know, just doing things. We had to put a lot of stuff on. I had to stop pretty much all of it and just put everything that was coming in into the business to even keep it going. And that's not the easiest thing to do. It's not the easiest thing to do for anybody, but it's really not easy when you already, you know, I have at the time I believe I had 5 children.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe I had 5, and she was pregnant. So
Okay.
she like your job and starting this with these young men. And you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like she ain't give me no real flack about it, but I know it's in the back of her mind, she like,
right.
okay.
I'm gonna let you leave, but I got my brakes on the passenger seat. The passenger seat brakes. So okay, hold on.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes. But that's where that faith comes in. And you know, that's why one of my core values and craft values is faith, right? Like if you can't but if you don't believe in what you're doing, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you know, a lot of people get in business just because they see someone down the street selling shirts,
Doing
so
something. Mhm.
oh, look, I'm gonna start selling shirts. You know, they don't really have a passion for that. They just are kind of just trying to follow the latest trend. But when
Right.
you really have purpose, and that's what you have purpose in your business, you know,
All
that
praise
is
to the Father.
so, yes, all praises. That's so, so powerful. So when we think about that and thinking about the obstacles you're having with the funding and the way that you're kind of, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul, hey, those are skills that you develop in adversity.
God.
About you, but you know, our whole motto here is to turn barriers into bridges and like being able to work with people, you know, like you and to see that growth happening over time, you know, is really what we're all about. So hey, we're both on one accord. So all praises for
God.
that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So
Yes.
so now that you've kind of told us a little more about your story, a little bit more of how you got things going, really the transformations that you're looking to make with the young men you're bringing in, you know, breaking those generational curses and generational cycles that really hold us back as a people, you know.
Right. Right.
Along with all of that coupled together, like what is your overall vision for STK Landscaping and Contracting?
So honestly, I want to continue with the mentoring. I want to continue to bring young people in. Um, but I really want to make sure that we're able to get the government contracts. We're able to get with other businesses and do bigger projects. I mean, we really want to make sure that we are not just a rinky-dink landscaping company or a little, backdoor. And there's nothing wrong with those, but I know I want to do something. Everything that we're doing is for the Most High. So the Most High
Yeah.
wants to see perfection. He wants to see. He's not. We got to represent him. So we can't
Yes.
represent him with raggedy and looking up. We have to look presentable. We wear uniforms. We have to have our vehicles with names on them, and it's got
Yes.
to look the part of priestly or kingly people. Like so I want it to be a nice company, a good representation of who we believe in.
Yes, 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 definitely. So, and I'm thinking about that, like that's your identity, right? That's essentially your business brand, right? It's essentially how you want people to perceive your company, what you want them to think and feel about you when they're interacting with you. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather contract with a company that I know stands on some real solid
That's some
values,
morals. Yeah,
okay? And has some
yeah.
morals. I mean, with all the scams and crazy things that's happening right now to a lot of
Yeah.
small business owners is crazy. So to be able to have a company that's standing on such a strong foundation is going to help you to establish that trust with your clients. And I'm sure why you have repeat clients.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes.
definitely. Yes. So
So I know. So STK Landscaping and Contracting is the name, the official name of the company, but the STK actually stands for Seek the Kingdom. For anybody that does not know, stemming from the Bible verse Matthew 6:33. Very good read. Uh,
yes.
check it out.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, definitely. And again, that's what it's all about, having that's what makes your company unique, because anyone can have, get buy a couple lawnmowers and, get some tools and go out here and cut some grass, but it's really about the experience. It's about having that family feel, hey, you coming to cut the grass, they got the lemonade waiting for you already,
God, God,
they're your regular,
God.
having those
Exactly.
regulars. And because, we've gotten so far away from community
Community. Yes.
yes, in these times. So to have that as one of the foundational pieces is really so admiring. I'm just saying, just next week you want to swing by, cut my grass. I'll be here between
Right, right. But that was another thing about the reason it started as well. I live in the city of Detroit, and we don't have the best outlook on everything around us. Like we have a lot of ghettos and hoods and different things that should be cleaned up and that look better. So um, I know landscapers, or I've seen landscapers that they go out there, cut the grass, and they blow all the grass and stuff and trash and stuff into the street after they're done, and that's not okay. Like
right,
you're just making the neighborhood look worse, And some of them might not live in the neighborhood; they just come through and just do whatever and just go on back where they are.
right,
And so I know that's one of the biggest things. I make sure that my young men, y'all know better than anybody I train or anybody that work with me. Y'all, we are not blowing nothing in the street. We clean up the street just as much as we clean up the neighborhood. Like the person that we're servicing is not the only person that we're servicing. We're
right,
servicing them, but we're servicing him or her, but we're also servicing the neighborhood, the community, because they're
right,
going to see it. They're going to be excited to see a nice yard. They're going to be excited to not see trash and stuff all throughout the curb and things of that nature. Prime example, just yesterday, a friend of mine hired us to come and do his cleanup. He had bought a house that hadn't been cleaned up in years. We ain't know how many years, but it's been years.
yes.
A lady, after we were done, a lady rolled by and said, I hadn't seen that house look this good in 11 years.
Wow.
It's not even all the way right. It's just clear with no leaves and stuff like that. Like
Yes,
it need treatment, but right now, like she's like, hey, thank you.
yes, yes,
So that it speaks a lot when the community is riding by, they are able to, they feel better about, hey, thank you for cleaning that up. Even though we're working for somebody, still, if we don't do a good job, they're gonna be like, they suck. But if we, what I'm saying.
yes.
So
Oh,
it's a
definitely,
big
definitely.
thing.
Basically, just the whole beautification of it all, just really uh, uh, making people excited about what they see when they go out. They're more prone to
Yeah,
go sit out on their porch and hang out,
exactly.
if the area is looking a lot better, so and
Yeah,
just especially on a bright sunny day. Especially on
exactly.
a bright sunny day.
Exactly.
So definitely. So, again, thank you for that. Everything again goes back to that real true purpose. Like for me, I had attempted to start several different businesses prior to the crafted pen, but
Um,
none of them actually stuck because like you said, I mean, you have the blood, sweat, and tears. Like
Years.
You are literally putting you're sacrificing everything. It's literally like raising a child,
Yes.
building a business, and then you gotta, it's stages to it all. And you have to go through different things to get to the next level. You're constantly in these growing pains.
Yeah.
So with that, I know you mentioned before, starting, with little to no funding. I'm with you there, really getting it out of the mud,
Right.
and getting the company up to the level that it is. But how are you still kind of in the Peter to pay Paul mode, or are you starting to feel some traction coming through? How are things currently with funding and with how you're sustaining overall?
So I believe in June, this June or July, one of them will make us being in business for 2 full years. So we're going.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Father. Thank you. We are
Yes.
going to our third summer season. So it's looking. We don't have funding put away yet because we're still building, but
Yes.
we are doing something that I haven't done in years. Since we started, I've never put out a flyer. So
Right.
this year, we're actually trying to pick up traction with putting out flyers and put out more advertisement and actually get more of a more traction where as we got money coming in, we'll be able to stack it up.
Yes.
This year we also changed up. Last year I was doing a lot of the first 2 years we were doing like percentages. We just whatever we made, we just split down and just kept it moving. This year we're going into more of a company corporate type structure where we all get paid by the hour, and
Right.
the company keeps its money and it keeps on building this bank so it can take care of itself. And we have
Yes.
to little pennies to do whatever we can do with to maintain our business, our families, our homes.
Yes.
Because most of us as business owners, we start a business. All our money is the business money. So
Yes.
whatever we made some money this week and we excited we putting that to our bills, and then next thing you know a lawnmower or something breaks down or something needs to be fixed or something needs to be paid for new, like, oh, give me that money back.
Yeah.
Take that over to the company. So
Exactly.
we are able to come. We're most high willing. The projections are showing that we're going to be able to come out of that before the end of the season. So by the middle of the summer, we should be okay. Should be okay.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, we should
definitely.
be
Well,
good.
my greatest mentor, and also the sponsor of this podcast, J.R. McNair with the Small Business Nation. The three most important things in business that he says the three most important things in business is sales, sales, sales.
Uh, uh,
Literally. Because
uh,
we get caught up in this mindset that, oh, to have a successful business I have to have funding. Now don't get me wrong, we all could use a big chunk of startup capital. i would
right.
i would not turn it down, but at the same time it's not impossible if you strategize and approach things in a more innovative way. So like for example, in my company, as well as I'm sure a lot of other small businesses, when you're growing and getting to that next level, like you mentioned, from just surviving to actually starting to kind of gain some traction and to see things kind of move uphill,
Right.
that's a whole process in itself. But when you're thinking about that, you kind of get caught in this spot where you need like for me it was capacity, right? It's like, yes, I can punch out all these advertisements and do all these things, but when I get a big rush of orders, I'm a solopreneur. So how am I going to be able to deliver on
Maintain. Right. Right.
exactly? So it's like you get caught in this trap where you're like, okay, dang, I need to take more to boost my sales, but at the same time, I need the funding to have to build the team and the capacity to be able to handle more. So it's like you
So
get
what you
yes,
mentioned that was an amazing thing because a lot of us brothers came together and started a like an investment group where we can start helping each other fund businesses, right?
yes,
Um, in our church body, in our family, in our community, we have more than one landscaping company that was working, and we were able to come together, sit down at the table, figure out how we can all bring it under one thing and really work it all the way through. And that's another reason why we start putting out more flyers, because we all
yes,
want to be self sufficient. We all want to be able to just not go back to a job or whatnot. So let's put these flyers out so we can actually get more than enough customers for all of us. Plus, the wintertime should be a lot easier because we have, you know, you can't do nowhere near as much work in the wintertime as you can in the summertime, right? When
Exactly.
it snows, you can probably only do a fraction of the amount of what you could possibly do in the summertime.
Right.
It's not enough time in the day to shovel snow. So with putting out these flyers and building more relationship with the other companies that I deal with, we should be able to maintain even through the winter with three extra landscaping companies as long as we do it right. So that was a
Mm.
big thing. So we're putting out the flyers, like you said. That's one of the reasons why I never did it before. I'm putting on the
Yes,
flyers. I got too much work. It's too much word of mouth.
exactly.
Too many contracts. Too much going on. So now putting out flyers is like, okay, now because I got other people coming in to help work with me and actually gonna push this forward. We're gonna hit it hard.
Yes, definitely. And I appreciate you for mentioning that too, because that's really why we built this platform. Like, why do we have Small Business Radio Detroit? Because what we want to really do is cultivate connections. So, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, you have a brotherhood, you have a network that you can tap into to help you to move your business forward. Because again, we're raising a baby. The business is the baby. So
Right.
it needs a village. That saying,
Time.
it takes a
Time.
village. It
Time.
literally, like, if you think you're going to grow your business just
By
by
yourself.
yourself, sitting somewhere in the corner, no, not gonna happen. Look,
No.
you might bust a couple moves, you might have a couple sales, but you'll
Right.
never really get to that real next level. So thank you for sharing that about that capacity and how you're building that is by tapping into your network. So on
Yeah.
this platform, that's what we want to do. We want to help you to be able to make those connections. One connection can be life changing. And I
Time.
say that from personal experience. You may
Time.
be going to a networking event and have a conversation and run across someone that has that door that you've been trying to open or can connect you to that next person. So, it's just really building. And also, thank you for mentioning the highs and lows, like how you were saying people think, oh, okay, I'm making money, and then they wonder why all of a sudden their sales plummet.
Right. Right.
You go through a drought. So it's also very important that, hey, yeah, you can ask for this funding, you can have all these sales, but if you're not being strategic about how you're allocating your funds and planning for those seasonal changes, like, okay, we know we're going to be down in the winter, so let's maximize on our opportunities in the
Summer,
summer
spring.
and
Time.
put some money aside so we can still sustain
Time.
through those slower months.
Time.
Definitely, definitely. So again, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I love the strategies. I love what you're doing. Um, hey, hey, and I'm working on doing the same thing. So we're one and the same, and
Good, right.
like, yeah. And so, anything else you wanted to add about your overall mission, the company? Tell me a little bit more about some of the special things that you're doing. Any other ventures that you have going on that you like to share?
Oh yes, of course, of course. So STK Landscaping and Contracting, which started 2023, and in that year, training the young men, it made it was a little easy because one of my brothers had contracts with buildings or with real estate that no one lived in. So it's easy to just kind of like train them up a little bit on those type of things. But I was wondering about later on, what if we don't have these? What if every customer is living their home and they want perfection? I can't
Right,
train them on somebody's yard because they're gonna be, ooh, if they mess it up, it's gonna be a problem.
right.
So we thought about getting some plots of land or getting some little, lots in the city just to train on, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but the finances wasn't there. 2024 came in before the season started. It was put on me to um, I don't know what was going on that year, but it was something going on with food and short. It's always a food shortage. It's always something going on with food. So I'm
Yes.
like, man, we need to have a garden. We need to have something to actually sustain our people, our family, our friends, our community, our church. Like we need to be able to really sustain ourselves.
Yes.
Just think about what we learn in church and what we know about what's to come. So uh, the most I pushed me forward to start a Seek the Kingdom Community Garden.
All
And
praises.
so
Yes.
So with that, we'll be able to, grow food, right?
Yes.
Uh, train the young men and or whoever wants to learn how to do gardening and landscaping, because we have more than enough land to show you different things. It's in the community. It's on a block full of people. So not full of people, but it's people out here that need
Yes.
lawn services. So I don't charge them a lot. We go over there, we just cut their grass every week or every other week, just to make
Mm.
sure that it continues to look nice. And that's good training for me to have a young man go over there. Hey, young train that young man over there. Are you grown? Oh, you want to come work? All right, come on over here. You cut this grass. Like it's easy
Yes.
for me to allocate those things. So Seek the Kingdom Community
Yes.
Garden really, it's a nonprofit. We have nice board members. We have great board members actually. Um,
Mm.
we it's a really nice venture that we started last year, and it's just going to get better and better this year. So it's important to build the community there as well. So it's just it worked out that, but that's another baby that we're cultivating. So uh,
Yes. So you got twins.
right. Yeah, probably yeah, they twins. They both man. It is
So that
and
means you
it
ain't get
helps
no
because
sleep, you broke.
the
No kidding.
I mean it really helps because when you talk about mentoring, um, that's like the number one thing to make sure our next generation is doing being better than us, right?
Yes.
Understanding and growing, and there's no money in that.
Right. Right.
So doing
That's the yeah, that's the skin. That's the skin
so
in it.
so like maybe we could possibly have a nonprofit that will help us we'll be able to bring more people in and with the mentor situation, and hopefully we get donations to help us with the mentoring. Say to help us
Exactly.
with what we're trying to build. What we're trying to actually develop. So
Yes.
most importantly, it continues to grow. It continues to get bigger and better. So, but
Yes,
yeah,
well, I love the vision, and really it's so it's amazing how when we really take the time to not only just know self and have went through that whole self-discovery, right? Like cuz we think about yes, our business, we have brands, we have brand identities for the company, but there's always a person behind the company that is that brand. Like this is this person almost
um,
replicated and thriving and growing within that as part of that business. So it's just so powerful to see the direction that the company is going in and the different ventures that you're going into based upon your founding principles and your core values. So, it's super exciting and very, very strategic to have that gardening piece when you have a landscaping and contracting company, because now naturally you're growing a network for your for-profit that ultimately can turn around 100-fold and be the exact donors that you need for your nonprofit company.
exactly.
You're still in that same sector. So
God.
yes, yes, definitely. So again, big, 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 big kudos, big, big kudos. And I just love your story. I love what you're doing for the young men. The mentoring is really needed. I mean, when you turn on the news today, it's unbelievable the things that are happening. So to be able to start to change that mindset, to be able to help to change that and transform that is so great. So we know that you're out and you're looking to serve your community. It's very clear that you have really deep ties with your customers, more like that family style type of feel. So we know the target customer that you're aiming to serve and to please. Looking at things from more of a business to business level, what type of collaborations or partnerships is SDK Landscaping and Contracting looking to make in this
so
next couple of years?
so what we've done in the past years, we've we've been doing subcontracting with bigger companies.
Yes.
Uh, and it's been great, been really great. What I would like to do now, we're going to continue to work with those people, but I want to kind of like what I'm doing, bringing other small businesses, other small landscaping companies or contracting companies, or even just property preservation companies. We need to come together more and be able to make our own big company where we can actually sustain ourselves, where we can get the big contracts, where we can get the things that we need as a people and as a community to sustain ourselves. Like it's very important that I want to get with the 2 to 3 vehicle landscaping companies,
Right.
or dump removal companies, or even the power wash. We got power washing companies. We want to get with all of the smaller network, the smaller companies. We want to get
Yes.
together so we can actually have a real network of people who can actually call on it and deal with. One of the
Yes.
things I'm doing this year is a little different than I've done in the previous years was um, slow down on uh, the handyman approach, like doing
Yes.
everything.
Exactly.
But we're focusing more on landscaping.
Right.
They call me and say, Deanna, I need somebody to clean my gutters. Deanna know how to clean gutters. Yes, STK can
Right.
do, but the STK is not going to do gutters. I
Exactly.
know a company, I networked, I have a person in the network that does gutters. That's
Yes.
all they pretty much do is just gutters and power wash. That's what they do. So I'm going to pass that along straight over to him. I don't
Right.
expect him to go buy a lawnmower when he's a customer and say, "Can you cut my grass?" I expect him to
Right.
call me and say, "Hey, man, we need somebody to come cut this grass." So we're trying to
Exactly.
um, build a better network where it comes down to if I put in a bid for the city of Detroit to do all of the subdivisions or all of the islands or all of the lots or whatever, I have the capacity to call on or bring
Yes.
my brothers and my networks that already have their own companies, but we're going to all come under this one to do these projects, and we all still be
Right.
able to make our own money with the community.
Yes.
So just really trying to build with like-minded brothers and sisters that's trying to really come together, and create a community or network that's really about us, about the Most High, about it really cultivating us, not trying to go out to build
Exactly.
everybody else, trying to actually build ourselves up so we can sustain ourselves.
Yes, definitely. And that's so important is making sure that we are looking out for one another and creating opportunity because, unfortunately, a lot of times in our culture, we have, it's a lot of stereotype and bias that, we're not together. We're not, together, like glued
Right.
together, meshed together. Like it's all like a competition thing. But when people fail to realize is that it's 10 brains are always better than one. Five brains are always better than one. When you start to weave everyone's thoughts and ideas together and strengths and assets and different things like that, that is where you can really start to see things compound a lot more significantly and a lot faster. So love that referral partnerships are always great. Affiliate partnerships as well,
Partnership time
maybe. Yes, like maybe like where you're earning money, to send people over
to
to
send
them.
people out.
Yeah, or
Exactly.
vice versa. So not only is your customer getting a one-stop shop type of feel, but
Right.
then you're also still gaining and to help you to sustain on the back end as well. So again, big ups, big kudos to everything that you're doing. Do you have any special offers or promotions, any events coming up that you'd like to share with us?
So with the landscaping, I don't have any promotions at the moment because our prices are already pretty reasonable.
Yes.
Anyway, they're not very high. They're good, reasonable price for the neighborhood, for the community that we serve.
Yes.
The biggest event the event that's coming up this upcoming weekend, well, the next every weekend
Yes.
starting what is it, April 5th. So starting April 5th, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 5 to 7, we will be having events at the garden.
Okay.
At the garden every week. How do you check into that? Let me see. 1 second.
Yes, yes. And make sure to also let us know because that's exciting. I'm definitely going to be coming down. Definitely make sure to fill us in on where that's located and how people could come out and show support and connect. That's great. That's amazing.
So on Facebook, you can type in STKC Garden. That's our main page and where we do most of our advertising, most of our community building on that page. We also have Instagram, same thing, STKC Garden, and TikTok, also STKC Garden.
Okay.
Uh, for the I didn't do YouTube yet, so it's just those three:
Yes.
Facebook, um, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay.
The email address for STKC Garden is stkcgarden@gmail.com.
Okay.
The address for STK Garden is, or Seek the Kingdom Community Garden is 14100 Freeland Street.
Okay. And
Yeah,
that's in
yeah.
Detroit, Michigan, correct?
Detroit, Michigan. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's Detroit,
No,
Michigan.
it is okay. Listen, we already know you make some true sacrifices. It wouldn't surprise me if you were flying out somewhere.
Right, right. No, now that's the thing. Like I've spoken to brothers in our church that does not live in the city. They live in other places in the country, and we're talking about starting their own community garden where it would be City Kingdom Community Garden, say Chicago, or City Kingdom Community
Yes,
Garden in Cleveland, and we will be able to expand and start to really work with each other on growing food,
yes,
dealing with each other, dealing with the community, like just learning how to actually deal with everything, even with even um, even the landscaping part of it.
yes,
Because in this wintertime, there are snowstorms that don't come to Detroit. So
right.
just building with other landscapers that are in different places, different states, we would love to be able to network with them and be able to pack up, drive out there to help them with their snowstorms. You know what I'm saying? Like be able to
Yes,
actually build up a community of people who can actually do these things. The construction workers do it all the time.
yes,
It's good they I got a brother that was welder. He had to fly all the way out to Washington just to Oregon to go help another company weld. Like we should
right.
be able to work with each other on all of our different projects as well. So it's very important to be able to do that. The I gave you the info for Seek the Kingdom Community Garden. The
Yes,
information for Seek the Kingdom or STK Landscaping and Contracting
yes.
is as follows. We do have a website. It
Okay,
is www.stklandscapingandcontracting.com.
okay,
We have TikTok that is at STK Landscaping.
okay,
Facebook is at STK Landscaping and Contracting. You have STK Landscaping and Contracting on Facebook, STK
okay,
Landscaping and Contracting on Instagram, and the
okay.
YouTube is at STK Landscaping and Contracting. So
Awesome. Yes, okay.
uh, I also have a link tree that has all of the links to it. So that's also at STK Landscaping and Contracting.
Awesome. And I appreciate you for sharing that. I will be sure to have all of the Allen's link dropped in the description of the video
All praise.
as well. So you guys can access that and be sure to get in touch with him. If you're just looking to get some edging done, whatever you need, landscaping and contracting wise, definitely get with the Allen. They do great work. And in terms of that, have there been what are customer how what kind of customer experience would you say that you've created? What kind of trends have you seen? What kind of
So,
feedback are your clients giving you?
so like you said, it is more of a family feel. It is
Yeah,
more of a friendship. It's not just a business. We just come out, do your grass, you just pay us, and we can keep it moving. We do have conversations. We do pray for them. They praying for me. We talk to each other about different things, even in the off season. Call, hey, how you doing? I heard you. I know you was injured. How you feeling today? How you feeling?
yeah,
Are you feeling? So it's
yeah,
more of a again, more of a family feel, more of a actual, I guess, like I said, family feel, friend feel. I don't
yeah.
want to say some people don't like their family, but I'm
Right,
talking about good family members, the ones
right,
you
right.
actually like to deal with.
Right, the one
So
you sitting down at the table having dinner with on a regular
yeah,
basis. Yes,
exactly. Not
right,
not the ones you don't can't stand. But no, so those are the types of things that we deal with. That's why it's so hard, like just to even doing the upscaling, right? I still got to go out there and do some work, but also still answer the phones. And it's
right,
kind of hard to let somebody else answer the phones because like they still know D Allen. They still
right,
want to talk to me. They're gonna want to tell me about some crazy stuff that they didn't have going on. They want somebody to listen and give them advice, not worldly advice, but the most high advice. Like, hey, you need to be whatever. So they still look for those things. And I don't want to just throw them off to an operator. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly,
to hire
exactly.
AI and have them answering all the calls. Like that's not going. It's going to change the feel of how we've been building our community of people. So
Right, right. That personable feel.
Yeah.
Is very important, that human nature. I'm glad you mentioned that, like, especially in this era right now with AI and, robots doing everything essentially for us, we're really people are starting to forget about that human element. I mean,
Right.
even you and I, conversing and connecting through a screen versus, having,
And
it's
it's
a
sitting
lot
down.
different than being
Exactly.
organically in the room with one another. It's a whole different ball game. So, not discrediting this. I mean, this has been amazing.
It
What
works.
you're doing is amazing. Yes. So it's very convenient, but we always have to keep that human element on the forefront and not go too far away from that. So I love the fact that your company is rooted, that real down to earth feel, that can I come borrow some sugar? You know,
Right.
all just basically trying to say, that's what society has really gotten away from. So to know that, you're starting to build and grow and cultivate these types of relationships, is good, and it's great for business. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
really contracting and working with other people, like I said before, I would much rather be putting my trust in a company that I know is going to produce quality work, and take things seriously when it comes to being punctual, the way you present yourselves, everything about you, is great. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about how things progress within your company. You're already starting to make a lot of those strides towards taking the business to the next level and essentially scaling. So I just want to close things out with a couple more questions, just because I'm a goof and I just just have
All
to
right,
know.
let's go. What
Listen,
you
I
got? What
just
you got?
have to know. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Right, right, right.
So the first question that I wanted to ask you is, if you could give your younger self a piece of advice, what would that be?
Younger self, piece of advice. Trying to call me old?
Hey, hey, listen, long as you, they say you're only as young and as old as you feel. So
Right.
if you feeling 21, hey, you 21 today.
um, about business or just life?
say I'd say as it pertains to, like, as a business owner now,
Business. As a
thinking
business owner,
about where
yeah.
you are, if you could have given because, like, for me, for example, and I'll kind of give you a little context. So growing up, I've always had a low self-esteem and a lack of confidence. And what I'm doing right now in my business, even being on this podcast talking to you, is just
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, if 15 years ago, no, I would not be on anyone's screen, right?
Right, right, right.
So, just thinking about different things or a thought process that you may have had growing up, and what kind of advice would you give to your younger self, based upon what you kind of know today? Because since I've let that whole shyness go and really embrace who I am, not only did it change my life personally, but that's when my business started to take off.
Start
I
picking up.
mean, my business was going on for 2 or 3 years and I was barely making a dollar, but because the confidence wasn't 100% there. So
Right.
just kind of like on those lines, what kind of advice would you give to your younger self that maybe you feel played a part in kind of holding you back or stopping you from starting your company a lot sooner?
Okay, so I really like the way the Most High did everything in my life as of right now, anyway. But to entertain the question,
Yes.
I would have told myself back then to actually just stick with the company because I started a landscaping company back in 2023. Me and my cousin, my little brother, we one my younger brother, we was actually doing landscaping. I actually started a cleaning company as well. If I said, oh, 23, what's it? 13, 2013. I'm sorry, 2013. We started some cleaning companies and some landscaping companies, but I was starting it not for me. I was starting it for my cousins and my family members, thinking I can
Yes.
hire and just bring people on and show them how to do it and then just go back to work.
Right.
And honestly, that's kind of what I was doing this go around too. I
Yes.
was just start this up and just keep working because I've
Yes.
always had a pretty good job, a decent job where I can make plenty of money. So I didn't. I'm
Right.
like, I don't need to quit. I like driving. I'm gonna drive and I'm good.
Right.
But with I would always do was just start it up and just hand it off to them, let them deal with it, and they just say whatever and let it go.
Right.
Or something happening, and I can't fund that and me, you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I probably would tell myself back then to just let the job go and just stick to this, do this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, and it'd probably be much further with it than I am now. Again, I really like the way the Most High did it though. The way
Yes.
it, yeah, so it
Yeah.
just
No regrets. Definitely no
no, yeah,
regrets.
exactly.
Yeah, because that would be like me saying, oh, I wish I hadn't have been homeless. I
Right,
wish
right.
I
No,
hadn't have
you
went
had
to.
to go through
You
that.
I
You needed
had
that.
to. Like
You had to go homeless.
that was character building, okay?
God, exactly, exactly. I
I
mean, same
suffered
thing.
some
Because
real
if
yes.
if I would have did that back then, we would have never moved to Florida. We would have never been homeless. We would have never had a lot of different things go wrong, or not go
Yes.
wrong. The learning curve, the things that we had to go
Yes.
through to get where we are. So
Yes,
yeah,
definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much for for answering that question.
nah,
Definitely appreciate it. Last question is there any special words or any advice that you would like to extend to other business owners, aspiring business owners that are kind of looking to just make that step out on faith? Any words that you have for them?
honestly, that's really all you have to do. Step out on faith, trust and believe the Most High gonna take care of you. Because we gotta first thing you gotta know is that that job, um, even the job is not guaranteed.
Right.
Absolutely not guaranteed. Like I said, all the jobs I had pretty much were good paying jobs, made good money. But the Most High showed me how quick I could get fired from that job, and I ain't do nothing. Just a
Exactly.
clerical error could make me just lose my job and lose all the money I had going. I'm like, wait, what is going? Like, how am I? And just brought my whole life to a halt. I'm like, before that, I'm telling myself, like, I ain't never leaving this job because I can do everything that need to be done for the Most High. I can make the Sabbath class. I can make all the holy days. I can do
Right.
everything I need to. I can pay all my bills.
Yeah.
I'm good. Why would I leave this job? But
Yes.
to be a true, I mean, I don't say to be true, but to really lean on faith is what we really need to be doing is you got to be out of that job. You got to really rely on him to help you get through everything and build that business or work with your family or work with somebody who's building the business. Like we need to be working together. That's what he wants
Yes.
us. So I would say that my biggest advice is to really, you got to really hunker down, pray, and have that faith to really deal with it. Again, I have an unnagging wife. She doesn't trip out on me about the faith walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
can't see it. I don't
Right.
even see it.
Right.
I think we got to do this because I'm being pushed in this direction.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, when I say that, she's like, okay, let's go. And then she find a
Yes.
way. She finds a way to help me out with it in a way that's not in my way. She helps me in a
Yes.
way that's just supportive and me pushing forward. So
Yes.
having that backing is absolutely helpful. Um,
Yes.
so people who had them wives, you got to move cautiously with the faith.
Yes.
I understand that. So
Yes. Definitely.
it's
Just
the faith walk all day. That's the
yes.
biggest thing, just having that faith and just going out there dealing with it, man.
Absolutely, because that faith ties directly into that confidence, and if you don't have that confidence that you can take that business to the next level, that will be the one thing you will be in your own way, definitely for sure. So,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for that piece of advice, and just kind of adding on to that, it's just very important that we not only make sure that we're always operating in that faith and in that confidence, but like you mentioned, still having some discernment to know that, hey, I obviously still have some things I need to take care of. So just kind of carefully going through that planning. Like the true story, I had a situation where I was working with a client and they thought they were ready for a particular thing, but when it all about boiled down to it, they weren't because they hadn't taken the necessary steps to plan out every little piece. So I know a lot of times we get excited, we get anxious, and we're like, oh, phew, I'm just going out, and you just dive head first, and now it just stuff splattering everywhere. You didn't tear yourself
Right.
up, you know. And
Right.
although those are learning experiences, still being able to have that level of discernment to say, okay, I do want to go here, but I can't skip all these other steps in between. There's a
Right.
purpose for planning your business out, for knowing the exact dollar amount it's going to take to open that business or to launch this specific thing. So having the faith, but the works with it, because faith without the works is
Yeah.
completely dead. Completely
Complete. Yeah.
dead.
Kind.
Yes.
Kind.
Yes,
Kind.
so yes, my brother, thank you so much for coming
Oh yeah.
on the Small Business Radio Detroit. This was a really great conversation. We got a lot of clarity, you know, and a lot of things that, you know, us small businesses go through, to know that I'm not the only person
All
wearing
right.
all the hats, the only person, you
Right.
know, having to duck and dodge and make
Juggle and do
moves.
everything.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
But again, big kudos to the plans that you set out, the people you're looking to connect with to continue to grow and scale. All praises, you have that capacity now to be able to start to really market your business and put your message right there in front of the target audience that you're really looking to connect with. So
uh,
if you don't have any final words, I'm just excited that you came on today and looking forward to checking in with you real soon to see how things are going.
Now all I'm gonna say is just thank everybody for the support. Everybody's helping me build the business. Everybody's coming together with me. The young men for sure, because man, we done had some long days. We done had some long nights. Um, but I appreciate them greatly for even just continuing to come. I
Yeah,
appreciate the parents for sending them, making sure that they actually get up and come, because that without the parents actually pushing them, they wouldn't be
yes,
here. You know what I'm saying? So they
yes,
that push is really going to cultivate their them young men to be men. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So
yes,
uh, I appreciate all of them for actually helping me see the vision and actually putting their minds to it, because I didn't start it by myself. It was a three. If they mothers pushed them just like I had to push my son. So
right,
we all pushing them forward, and I'm just out there in the forefront of actually just pulling them all the way through it. So
yes,
uh, I do appreciate all of them and all of the things that we're going through and actually building up from it. So
yes. Great, great. Well, thank you so much
all
again,
praise to the
brother.
Father.
Yes,
God.
all praises. So I'll be checking in in about a year. I'm be reaching out, telling you, let me hold something. Let me hold
Right,
something.
God.
Okay, my brother. Well, you be blessed, and
You
we'll be
too.
catching up again real soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Shalom. Me.
Shalom.